Good morning and happy Saturday. I feel like I've not vlogged in forever because honestly it's been 2 weeks, but it is a Saturday, so this is a perfect day to vlog the market prep experience. I'm also doing some other crochet related things today, so it just felt like a good day to pick up the camera. I'm also going to try to not use the mic for this vlog because I feel like the mic was making the volume worse somehow. So I think I might just use the mic if I'm going to like talk at markets. But we'll see. We'll see. That might change. I might change mics. Who knows? But anyway, that's not important. What is important is right now we are going to Dunkin' so that I can get coffee so that I can form sentences a little bit better. And then I'm gonna come back to my house and we are going to potentially crochet a teeny bit before I have to go to my friend's house to pick her up because we're going to go to the craft fair at the other high school in my town that I don't generally sign up for, because we're gonna walk around. I'm gonna see if that's still a good choice. I'll kind of explain why I generally don't choose to do that market. I'm also going to see if that's going to change my mind, but I'll kind of explain that in a later clip. And then I am going to drop my friend off and then I'm going to go to Joann's because I went through my yarn last night and I made a list of what I need, but based on like my want to prep list, what would be helpful to have. So we're gonna go to Joann's because yarn is currently on sale. So hopefully we get some good finds there, and then we'll come back here and we'll crochet into the night. So it sounds like a really good day to me and I hope you're excited. So let's hope that I remember to vlog these clips and let's go to Dunkin'. Okay, I'm back in the car after Joann's successful run, except I didn't get the polyfill because I had no coupons for it, and that was the other big thing I needed. So I might run to Michael's because I have rewards. I think I have a coupon and I definitely have a gift card, so technically the polyfill would be free. I have a weird thing about the polyfill though, that even though they're the same exact boxes, I get like the 5-pound like blue polyfill boxes. For some reason I feel, and this could be just all in my head, that the Joann's one feels better than the Michael's one. In the long run, it doesn't actually matter because it goes inside the plushie. So in theory, no one's touching the polyfill, but I'm touching it. I don't know. I have a really weird thing about it. But I also know that it's now like almost 11:30. So where the Michael's is that I go is going to be extremely busy because it's also kind of a rainy day, if you could tell from the clouds out there. So that means like everyone's gonna be in that plaza because it's a really popular plaza. There's just a lot of stores in there that people go to. So that might be a push to a tomorrow thing because I have polyfill. I have a decent amount, but I could have more. And I mean, if it gets to be an emergency, the Michael's is a lot closer than this Joann's is, so I can just bop up there because they're open till 9. So I think we're not gonna get it right now. I will go through the yarn I got when I'm not in this parking lot because while right now I have no one around me watching me film, I just feel like it's only a matter of time before that starts to happen. I got no footage at the craft fair that I went through. To be honest, it did justify the fact that I don't do that craft fair. I'll explain, like during the yarn haul, I'll kind of go into it more, but it was really crowded, and I got into the car afterwards with my friend and I took not a single second of footage of anything, but so I apologize, but well, I'll kind of explain a little bit more about that. But yeah, so we're now going to do the drive home. I might get something for lunch. It's a little early, but I'm out. I don't know. I might go back towards like my town. Like right now I'm like 3 towns over. So we'll kind of play it by ear. If you can tell, I don't have a really direct plan right now. I'm kind of all over the place. But that Joann's was busy. Not in the yarn section, which was good because I could get footage, but other places. And they only have like 3 employees, so that's unfortunate for them. All right, I'm gonna cut this here. I'll see you soon. Okay, we're back. We ate, whole thing. It is now 10:01, and we're gonna start crocheting. I did make parts of a tank turtle before I left this morning, so that'll probably be the first thing that I finish, just so that's done. I was gonna bring down the yarn that I organized last night down here. Could still happen. We're gonna go through the yarn that I got at Joann's because a lot of it is, spoiler, it's for cats. And then I can use some of it for like cows, which I really have not been making cows. I have 1 and I need more than that. So, I don't know. It's a little overwhelming because we are now exactly 1 week, but really 6 days out from the market. And that's next. And I've been like nonstop crocheting, it feels like, but also I feel like this week is gonna just have to be like go, go, go. Now this week does have Thanksgiving in it, and that means I don't have to go to my regular job for 2 days, but it's also Thanksgiving. So there'll be people over both Thursday and Friday. So that's kind of a bummer. Last year when I did this market, I remember vlogging this. So if you've been here since the beginning, thank you, crazy. But I ended up on that Friday, a lot of my family went out to go shopping, and I just stayed and grinded out more inventory. So who knows, that could happen again. I don't know what this week's gonna look like, so we're gonna try and get as much done this weekend as we can. So I'll stop all the extra talking and we'll go into what I actually got. So I got this bag because it's not a Joann's run if I don't remember to bring one of the hundreds of Joann's bags that I already own. So I knew I was getting a decent amount of yarn, so I knew I was going to need a bag. So, but I do, like I've said in other hauls that I've gotten a bag at, I do use them. That helps sort my yarn a lot of the times when I'm bringing it around, so it's fine. But Burnett, and I think from the clips that I took, Burnett and Big Twist both were on doorbuster sales, which worked out because I didn't have any extra coupons, and coupons don't work on doorbusters if you're new to Joann's. Also, my Joann's was so stocked with yarn. Congrats to them. Those aisles were full. And that's why I like Michael's I have to sometimes get Sweet Snuggles Light from them, even though people have opinions on Sweet Snuggles Light. They're not wrong. My rug is currently covered with pieces of yarn because of it, but to get that that softer one when you don't want to wait for Premier to deliver something to you, then it's there. So, but my Michael's lately has not been stocked as well as this Joann's was. Anyway, so I got a lot of the Burnett blanket. Sometimes I get the baby kind, sometimes I get the regular kind. It depends on the color. I'm going to apologize now for the yellowness of the lighting because all of these colors are not going to look super real. as what they are, but this is a gray. There we go. And it's almond. It's an almond color. So I will use this for, or actually it is like a tan. Look at that. Yeah, in this light, yeah. Yeah, it's like a tan, it's called almond. I'll probably make a cat out of this, and then I might use it to make a cow. Exciting. Then this is gray. I'm just colorblind. This is the Big Twist plush. And this is in their light gray. I do like the Big Twist plush. I don't love the Posh, but the plush I feel like is really comparable to Bernat. It's actually even a little bit fuzzier. Both of these kinds I do like because they don't shed as much. Sorry, Sweet Snuggles. The other two Big Twists I got were the same color, and this is what I call my chicken nugget yarn. It is in the color Sunflower, and it's a Big Twist plush, and I just got two of them because I need to make some more chicken nuggets, and also my cousin has requested a present for her boyfriend for Christmas, and I will need this yarn in order to accomplish that. So I might need another skein, but I was gonna just start with two, and we'll go from there. I have some leftover of this, but like it's like small amounts, so I'll obviously use that up first, but I wasn't gonna be able to make a whole chicken nugget out of it, so I knew I needed more. Then I have this color I've been out of for a while, and this makes really cute cats. It's the Bernat blanket in the color Dried Flowers, and it's my most like unique colored cat that I usually make. Sometimes I'll go crazy and I'll make rainbow cats, but they don't tend to do as well for me. That doesn't mean they won't do as well for anyone else. My rainbow bees crush, but like if I make cats that are like in like pinks and blues, they get looked at, but people tend to go more towards a more realistic cat color, because I think I've said it before, but a lot of times people want to kind of match their cat they get to the cat that they have. So I have made cats in this color too before and they've sold, but this color combo does do well for me, and it's definitely probably my more like unique coloring. And then I got in the Bernat blanket speckle kind. This is the colorway Cream, and you can see the speckles. I also use this. I just started making pencils because they were in a bundle of patterns that I have, and I actually like, I'll make cats with this too, but I have made like the actual like pencil like shavings part with this way, and it looks really, really cool. So I needed more of that because I only have a very little bit left. And then the last skein I got was in the baby blanket kind from Bernat, and this is Little Sandcastles, and this is another good one for both cows and cats. That was kind of my theme when I made a list of the colors I wanted, and I don't know color names of the Bernat or the Big Twist for that matter, because I don't really pay as much attention to them as I probably should. And so the list in my phone, it was like orange and red mix, and I knew that it meant this one. Even though looking at it, there's not that much orange in it, but I knew exactly what I meant. I said light tan mix, that meant this one. So there were definitely, I literally put chicken nugget and I knew which one I needed, so that helped. But I ended up getting 7 skeins in the bag for $56 after tax, which honestly wasn't that bad. I did hear too late. The person I was checking out next to me was like, oh, and I'm a teacher, and she needed to produce her teacher ID. Then she was probably going to get a discount, and I forgot that I can probably do that too. The only issue is sometimes they're weird about you doing that with doorbusters, so sometimes it doesn't even count. So I didn't care like that much that I didn't do it, but Michael's, I will say, I do like that I literally signed up for the teacher discount once, like 3 years ago at this point, I want to say, on my rewards, like when they started doing the Michael's rewards. And so it's attached to my account. So I literally just scanned my rewards code for like my, like rewards number or whatever for Michael's, and the discount for the teacher stuff automatically just comes off no matter what I'm buying. So, pro tip for you, if you are an educator, because Lord knows we don't get paid enough, so you might as well get a discount at the craft store. But yeah, so, and when I had first signed up for that, I was getting a lot of stuff. I was teaching science at the time for like a science lab for younger kids. I was getting a lot of like beads and like a lot of like materials. It's fine. I was using it for the classroom. Now sometimes I get my yarn on a 10% discount. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, but yeah, so that's the yarn I got. All right, I changed my angle slightly so that the lighting's better. Top of my head's getting cut off, but it's fine. You know what it looks like. Anyway, so for the rest of the day, because now we're looking at about 1 o'clock, I am going to possibly start with some of these cats because it's right here. I have a list. I'm also waiting on a Amazon delivery. It's like a thinner white plush yarn. I'll show it when it comes. It's coming today, but not until like 6. Because I need it to make the tiny mushrooms, because I was on a real roll of those and then I ran out of that yarn and I thought I had more and I did not. So that was a bummer. So I made a spreadsheet where, let's see if it's gonna focus. There we go. Where if you can tell the dark purple or like the magenta color right here, that's like for things that I completely finished prepping for next week's market. I then have another column for the week after, slash the plushie drop that I want to do. And so we're gonna kind of see how this week goes in terms of what I get done, to kind of go from there. But I was playing around, so I'm all prepped on axolotls, I'm all prepped on bees. Birds, there are 3 more that I would like to make, but if I don't make them, I have 5, so that's still a good number for them. Chicken nuggets, I have to make 3 more, which I can do now that I have the yarn. Cows, I need to make 2 more. I have the yarn. Crayons, I'm all prepped with. I have 8 to bring. Hanging flowers, I need to really step up my freaking game with those because they don't take me super long, but I need to prioritize them because this market next week is at a high school and there will be high schoolers walking around and shopping because I've been to this market before and I've vended at this market before and they all like to decorate their cars with cute things. And if I have a cute thing to sell them, I want to make sure I have enough. So I have to make those. Then the little popping mushrooms, like I said, I'm waiting for the white yarn. I still need to prep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of those. Luckily, they don't take me super, super long, but that is going to be like a couple hour grind to do that. I have to figure out where I stand on keychains. I have a list of ones that I want to prep. I have some already done. I don't know. They weren't doing as well as I wanted them to. So they're kind of going on that back burner with the birds. Loaf cats, like I said, I have 6. I want to prep 6 more. So I have 12 ready to go. And I have that yarn now. So I want to be able to do that. Pencils, I have 1. I want to make at least 2 more. Grinches, I have 1, and his head's like this. So I need to make a few more where his head is not so far over. I want to do that. Whales are an easy prep, and I only have to make 6 of those, so I want to just be able to bust those out because I already have a decent amount. Tank turtles, like I started one this morning. I have to make 8 more. Again, they don't take super long, but it is something that I need to just like sit down and do. And then it also involves a lot of different color yarn. So that's kind of a little annoying. Stress balls. I'm stressed about the stress balls. I have 3, I think, done. They don't take me long, but I have to decide if I want to have them at this market. I feel like I say that every single vlog, so we'll see. We'll see. Squids I have on my list. I currently don't have any squids. If I don't get to them, we're going to continue to not have squids, and that's okay. Scrunchies, I wanted to make 7 more, but I do have a decent amount, so we'll see. I did mean to look at the Juicy Couture yarn today at Joann's, and I didn't put it on my list, but also it's okay. Regular octos, I have to make 4 more. Those don't take long. I just have to do them. Pop mushies, I only have to make 3 more. Same sentiment. I just have to do it. Pooh characters, I did 2 Winnie the Poohs. I want to make 2 piglets. Pickles, I need to make as many as I have yarn for. So I got to get on that. I was going to make another monster. I currently have the 2 that you see every time that I pull out my inventory. But if that doesn't get done, that's okay. Also, one of the reasons I want to have so many cats is both of these markets I have left need a raffle prize. And I think I'm going to make loaf cats my raffle prize because I do think I will still be able to sell them even if it is a potential like raffle win. I think people will still want to buy them, and they take less time than a cow, which is what I had donated last year. Actually, no, last year I donated squids. I donated a cow during the summer market I did at the high school because I'd had this like purple and pink cow for I think since I started crocheting, and it had a lot of tickets in for the raffle, which was great because it was getting no attention on my table to be bought. So there's that. And then mini octos, and you just need to make 5 more. So like those little things like I can do, but the issue is because there's like so many of those little things, it's going to take me a little bit of time. So I need to just like make a plan that makes sense to me and just like do it instead of just talking about it. I'm changing my days till the high school till 6 and my days until the elementary school to 13 because I'm a glutton for punishment. Focus, please. And so I have that countdown right here, and I just want to make sure that I am staying realistic in what I need to make. So yeah, but I will say I've done a lot of different experiments with tracking inventory and inventory goals. I've been honestly all over the place. I've tried different ways in Google Sheets. I've looked at templates of other people. I've almost bought things on Etsy of other people's, and nothing was what I wanted. And it was a lot on me too, because like I'd like make a Google sheet and I'd be like, I hate this, and I delete it. And I have like when I actually track so on Friday there will be a tab on my like regular Google sheet that kind of like oversees and plans everything and has the markets and like the money and like all that stuff. That's a separate Google sheet. I will have a tab for the Saturday show, and it will have all of my inventory like items, and then I'll put how many I'm starting with. It has how much I charge for them. I then will input at the end how many of each thing sold. That's how I kind of keep track and figure out my different totals. And so that's a whole separate sheet. I needed this sheet for literally like prep, because if I mix the two sheets together, there's something about putting the numbers on my like main sheet that it just feels so final. I understand that I could put 5 cats and then change that number to 6 before we go. I get it. But I don't know. I like to just kind of like input that stuff once. I also like this because I'm basically crossing things out by highlighting with color so that I can still see what it is, so I'm not like striking it through. I mean, you can, what am I saying? You can still read things when you're struck through, but like, I don't know. There's just something that this feels more doable. It feels like I can manipulate it in a way that makes sense to me. It doesn't give me as much stress to look at, which is great. And then my plan is that when I'm done prepping for Saturday and I start to look for the following Saturday of the additional things I want to prep for that, when I'm done with that, I will change that like magenta dark purpley kind of color that I showed you with the axolotls and the bees to a different color, so I can kind of tell where I am in the process, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to have 2 back-to-back markets. I know I've had like a lot of time to prep for this one, which is why there is like a decent amount of purple. But it's been hard because I have a regular full-time job that's not crochet, and that job has been a little chaotic. We're down a team member, so I've had to like jump into other parts of the job that aren't usually mine. So I've been coming home like really tired, and like before this, like I've may have had like a little bit of downtime during my day where like I could be like on call for something but also like crocheting something at the same time, and I'm still like doing my job, but like also like I could like for like little like 20-minute like increments, like just like randomly throughout the week. But that would help. Like I would make hanging flowers or scrunchies during that time, and that's just not a thing right now this month, so which is fine, it's all good. But just because of that, I feel like I'm being harsher to myself because I feel like I should be farther. And I know I've said in other videos before about giving yourself grace, and I have to always tell myself that. Also, I'm really proud of the inventory I have. I laid it all out last week of what I had just like a week ago, and I know I've had a lot more added to it since. And like my mom had friends over and they came in, like they looked at it and they're like, holy crap, like this is so much stuff, Kayla. And that's so true, because it's all perspective, right? Like at the end of the day, this market next week, I might only have 1 table. I'm hoping to have 2, just because my presentation looks better on 2 tables than 1, but I can make 1 work if needed. And if I only have 1 table, then like, yeah, it's gonna look like I have a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I think I'm going to end up only having one because I was at oh, duh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Oh my gosh, this video is already so long and there's so little crochet in it. Let me grab something to crochet and I will tell you about this market. Hang on. Okay, so we're gonna crochet a cat while I talk about the market today that I walked through. So like I said, we have 2 high schools in my town, and they each of their music departments puts on a vendor / craft fair a week apart from each other. So the one that I'm doing next week is always during Thanksgiving weekend, and the one that was today is always a week before Thanksgiving. And it's been that way since I was in high school and I was in the music department. So I did, when I was cross stitching back in 2018, I did this market, and I remember it being really, really crowded, and I didn't do that well. Now, granted, I do think it's important to say that when I was doing cross stitching, I never did super well at markets because, again, I cannot stress enough how niche that craft is. So if you truly don't have it, something that people are looking for, it's not going to sell. I'm gonna have to count. Okay, so anyway, so and I remember the high school itself is kind of a weird shape. It's all one level, and it's just like ramps and hallways for days. And they spread this one out pretty intensely. So they have like an area where you first like come in, and there's a bunch of vendors in there and down like every like nook and cranny. And as someone who's been put in weird spots at markets, I always want to make sure I see everyone, because I know how much that like kind of stinks if you get to a market and you're like, well, this position's not great. I don't know who's gonna come by here. So I always want to like make sure that like we see everyone. And I went with one of my friends, and so we started through there, and then they line the hallways with a bunch of vendors, and it's tight. And then they put a bunch of vendors in their cafeteria, which is by far probably the best place to be in, because you have probably the most space to just kind of breathe. And then they go down like another like side chute hallway, which is super tight, and then they use the gym. So it's one of those things where it's a lot to see, and I find a hard thing about like markets where there are so many vendors and the vendors are like pretty spread out, is that it's harder to then make decisions about what you want to buy. Like if you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect for this person, this would be perfect for me, I've been looking for something like this, you know, whatever the case may be, and absolutely you're gonna buy it. But I saw a lot of people walking around not necessarily engaging with the vendors, not really buying from the vendors. Like there were definitely people making sales, like don't get me wrong, but it didn't seem as like, oh my gosh, yes, here we go, and transaction. There was like really only like one table where there was like a crowd around, and then like you have some like those like direct vendors that are, and there'll be some at next week, the market that I'm at next week also. They always tend to do a little bit better because they just have brand recognition. So that's like the 31 bags, the Pampered Chef, the Tastefully Simple, you know. But like, so they'll have like some people, but like the handmade stuff is harder. The other reason I don't do this market traditionally is that because there's so many vendors, there's a lot of repeats of types of vendors. I think we probably saw 8 to 9 crochet booths, and at least 5 of them had amigurumi on it, or like the plushies on it. Then the other half did like those, like the hats, the scarves, you know, the nice thing. There was one booth that had beautiful like tapestry, like blankets of like different characters. Like I don't know how long it took them to do that. And like I looked and it was crocheted. It wasn't like screen printed on, like, because I was like trying to like tell, and it was truly crocheted. So I don't even know how much she was charging for them because I was afraid to look at it for like too long. Because I was like, this is going to be expensive, as it should be, because it probably took forever. But I was not in the position to buy something that expensive. And so that's the thing, is that like, I don't know if anyone was going to do super well. I went to this fair last year and walked through also, and I didn't see a ton of repeats. Like there were like a couple of vendors I was like specifically looking for because I knew I had seen them the year before. There was one vendor, I'm still kicking myself that I didn't buy this stuff from her. I was going to, and then she wasn't there this year because I'm sure she didn't do that great last year, probably because I didn't buy when I was going to. And I didn't get her card or anything. I will one day find her again. It will be fine. But there weren't as many repeats, where when I go to the market next week, there are definitely more vendors who have done it a little bit more regularly. That's not to say that one also doesn't have its own faults. It does. Like it has some cons, but I think it's still a good call that I don't do this particular vendor fair. Also, that would mean that I would have 3 in a row during a very busy season, and that just seems like stress. But yeah, so that was my experience going to that fair. I ended up not buying anything, and I felt kind of bad, but there was nothing like please, people do beautiful work, but there was nothing that really jumped out that I was like, oh, I need this for so and so. And I went with like a strong intention to shop, and it just, nothing was really jumping that needed to be bought that day. So, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep crocheting because I have been talking for like the last half hour, and so I'm gonna keep crocheting. I have to also finish that turtle, but I just grabbed this skein of yarn and just started making a cat, which was fine. So I'm gonna do that, and I will check back in a little bit. Bye for now. Hello, and this is our 6:30 p.m. check-in. So it's been a few hours since I last checked in, and I also ate dinner, and I obviously brought down the yarn. It's back on this couch. But what I've made is I did finish that turtle that I had started this morning. I didn't do the eyes yet because I'll just do a round of all of the embroidered eyes when I'm done with all of them. And then I also made a yellow base turtle with some orange. So this is the tank turtle pattern by Mel's Crocheted Creations on Etsy. I really do recommend these. They're pretty easy to make, even though it is 3 different parts, and kind of then just crochet it all together. And so what I will probably do next is, because I need to make 2 more that have a different green body, but they're gonna have 2 different color green shells. I'll make both heads, both bodies first, and then I'll do the shells and kind of like assembly line them together. I find that works usually okay. And then I also finished the cat that I had been working on from before. So that's 3 things, which at this point of the night, I would have liked it to be more, but it's okay. It's all good. I also have not gotten the yarn that's been out for delivery since this morning, and it keeps bumping a little bit later for delivery, so hopefully it comes today, if not tomorrow, but it's supposed to get here between now, because 6:30 and 8:30, so we shall see. If that yarn does come, I will probably switch to making the popping mushrooms for the rest of the night. But for right now, I think I'm going to focus on turtles, which is going to use this yarn. And then I have to do the bigger version of the popping mushrooms also still. So there's a bunch of different paths I can go. But I also have to keep an eye on my parents' arrival back, because they're coming back tonight and I need to be able to move all this back upstairs. So I'm also keeping an eye on Find My Friends, because this is where they sit. So why do I keep doing this to myself? I don't know. Would it be easier to keep my yarn more organized upstairs? Of course. Do I keep just defaulting to this because it's a little bit easier to just then grab? Yeah, but that's okay. So yeah, but that's our check-in for right now. I might check in again tonight. I don't know. I might check in tomorrow. We're gonna kind of play this vlog by ear. I also do, but I probably won't do it until Wednesday. I will have to like put out all my inventory again, because I will want to resort them into bags to make setup a little bit easier, because I had sorted, and now because I've been making more stuff, I've just putting them into like just the bag that's on top, which is fine, but I would like to like actually sort it out. So I'm just gonna keep that in my noggin too. But yeah, that's our 6:30 check-in. I'm going to, at 7, there's I'm very cool this Saturday night. There's a stream that I watch from one of the creators that I watch on YouTube, Mammoth Club. They're streaming a baking stream, so I'm gonna crochet while they bake. That's exciting. And yeah, I'm gonna have kind of just a chiller Saturday night. It's gotten really, really cold, and it's like cozy crochet weather, which is nice. It's nice to have chiller nights too. So yeah, I'll check in with you probably at some point. See you then. All right, quick update. We're still turtle making, but my yarn did come from Amazon. It is this brand that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, but I will put up the link down below. And this is the color marshmallow. It's just the white. It comes in packs of 3, and I don't know, hang on, I wanted to open it so you can see it's a thin white, or it's a thin yarn in general. There, yeah, there we go. It says it's a 5 weight. So normally, like, Parfait Chunky calls theirs a 6, but it's similar in size to Parfait Chunky, I would say. And like Sweet Snuggles Light calls itself a 6, and that's what I like honestly think is a 6, because it is a little bit thicker. But I do like this one for, I had started a pop mushroom yesterday and had to cut or stop where I was because I was going to lose yarn chicken. So I had to wait until I had the rest of this. So I think I'm going to finish these 2 turtles because I'm almost done. I have the 2 heads and the 2 bodies. So I just have to do the shells, which I started one of them already. So we're going to do that, and then I will probably bring over the yarn that I need to do the rest of the popping mushrooms in. Maybe the rest of the turtles in. Not really sure, but I do have to bring all that stuff upstairs because my parents are probably like a half hour out from being home. So, lol. But yeah, so just a quick update on that. And yeah, I'll check in a little bit maybe, or tomorrow. Good morning and happy Sunday. It is currently 10 o'clock this morning and I've been crocheting for about an hour and I've made 2 of these turtles. I've made this one and, oh gosh, turtles are falling. Ugh. And this one. So I only have one more on my list that I want to make. I want to make one with an orange body. I have other colors upstairs that have been done, but they need eyes to be embroidered, but I usually just wait until I'm done with my list of them and then I'll just shoot all the eyes. But yeah, so I was able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 between last night and this morning. Again, this is the Tank the Turtle pattern that I talked about yesterday. I really like it. I really like how quick they whip up. And then yeah, look, I have a rainbow of turtles. They're so cute. So we're gonna do the last one today. This morning we'll embroider the eyes and then these will be done. I'll be able to put on my sheet and color that in with that purple, which is so exciting. And then you saw last night the yarn came, so I'm gonna then switch to popping mushrooms. I have that yarn next to me already ready to go, so we're gonna do those and then we're gonna see what else we can get done today. So I'm excited, I'm motivated. I think this is gonna be a good crochet day. I'm glad I already got 2 turtles done, so that's a great start. But I'll check in a little bit. Okay, we're checking in at 1:45. The turtles are done. It took me a lot longer than intended because basically right after the last clip, my parents came home and wanted to rearrange the whole living room because now our Christmas tree is here. Here she is, not decorated. But that meant that we had to move furniture, there was cleaning involved, it was a whole thing that took a couple of hours. So my turtles were delayed, but they are done now. I've made 8 within the last 2 days, or really 12 hours. So that's good. So now we're gonna jump on over to the mini mushy pops. We're gonna finish this one off first. And then I have a list of all the others. I have the yarn next to me of all the different colors that we need, because that's my other goal for today, is to get those completely prepped and then hopefully still have time to prep some more stuff. But if I can get the turtles and those done today, I will feel okay. So I will check in a little bit. Okay, I realized I never kept recording and those clips are from like 2 weeks ago. So I've actually done both markets since, so that will be the next video. We'll be recapping both of those. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give a like and potentially subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. You can find me on social media at both TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to put both those handles right here. They are both at I Could Make That But. You can also find things to buy at my website, which is ICouldMakeThatBut.com. Hopefully, if you're watching this on Sunday, December 7th, Monday, December 8th, I am planning to have a bunch more plushies up for potential holiday gifts. So more details on that will be on my social media. So if you follow me there, you can find out all of the details. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.